All right, here we go. Good evening, everyone, or good morning, depending on where you're tuning in from here today. Before we get started, let me know if the audio quality is good, if the video quality is good. Let me know in the comments section before we jump in the chart, just to make sure that the technicals are working as they should. And let me know, guys, where are you all tuning in from today? I'm super interested to see where you all from. I know that we have a very diverse and global community here at PrimeXBT. Would love to see where you all are from, and don't forget to hit that like while you are here. Hit that like, and of course subscribe. And we're gonna get to the trading. You just need to confirm that everything is working. Let me see. Put the sound on. Okay, so I do hear myself, which is good, which means that the microphone is picking up sounds. Okay, what a couple of days. Last couple of days, it's been amazing. I think Bitcoin. When did Bitcoin break out into new all time highs the first time? We had was it Thursday? I think it was right here, right there. We had that little just a little peak above that all-time highs we had right there. That was on the Fed minutes, right? On July the 9th. On July the 9th, we had one right there, and that is on Wednesday, right? And then on Thursday, we had that explosive move to the upside. And it's not really slowing down, is it? We had on the over the weekend as well, we had Bitcoin continuing to the upside, and we recently today we hit the highs here of 123,000 for Bitcoin, which is quite amazing. Very, very strong push to the upside right here. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to go straight into the PrimeXBT platform right here, because I have just initiated a short sell on the Bitcoin, and we're going to be switching over from TradingView right away, and we're going to go over to the PrimeXBT crypto futures platform right away, because that's what I am looking at right here. Okay, so I am currently in, let me see, where is that? Right here. Let me increase that one. Currently in a sell position right here, just because I'm thinking that there might be some momentum here to the downside. Let me know, guys, again in the comment section. Let me know where you guys are from. Always interested to hear where you all are from currently. Gonna put that stop loss above the last local high. If I get stopped on that one, I will of course go and long this market. We have someone saying BTC break 150k in the month. Not gonna be very surprised if it does. I mean, the momentum is powerful here. We're looking at the 50-minute here, so I'm just getting straight to it. I've been preparing for the live stream here and looking at the markets. And as a trader, I mean, we're gonna jump on every opportunity that we do see, and I do see a small little opportunity here to short Bitcoin. I am currently in the PrimeXBT futures, crypto futures platform right here, and as you can see, I am on a hedging account. Now, for those of you who do not know, you can go in, you can change from netting mode to hedging mode. Now, on hedging mode, you can go short and long at the same time, and every position will have its own positions. If you enter a position on if you enter 5 different orders on Bitcoin, you will have 5 different positions open on Bitcoin. On netting mode, you can go long or short at the same time, and every position that you add will be added to that pair's position. I like to go with the hedging mode though, because I'd like to average in and average out of positions by entering multiple positions, and then of course also closing those positions. Welcome everyone to the live stream. Make sure that you do hit that like, and while you're at it, subscribe to the channel if you want more live trading sessions like this one. Now, I must say that we're taking short against the overall trend right here, and I always want to monitor this one right here. And while I am in this trade right here, I'm going to switch over to TradingView to do some analysis for you guys on Bitcoin right here. Let me pull that down. And let me open up TradingView quickly. There we go. Okay, so what is the trend? You know the saying, trend with the trend. No, not trend with the trade, trade with the trend. Okay. And as we can see here on the daily time frame, now Bitcoin is obviously very, very, very bullish right here. And we are looking at a market with heavy momentum and heavy volatility to the upside. So on the daily, of course, I would just want to be long on this one. I am going to mark out some of the important levels that we do see on the daily. Of course, the previous all-time high, that's going to be that one. That's going to be a very important level. We also have a level right here on the top of that wick right there. Greetings from Venezuela. What's up, man? Greetings. What's up, Venezuela? What's up, Louis? Hope you're doing good. Welcome everyone to the live stream here today. If you have any questions, let me know in the comment section. I'm happy to help. I'm here to help. Yeah, so right now I'm taking I would say a counter trend trade against Bitcoin here. I'm looking for Bitcoin to perhaps come down and hit the area around 120,000 before potentially going higher. So that's the trade I have open right now. He's going to do a top-down analysis here for you guys, looking the daily, going down to the 4-hour, and then zooming in even lower into the time frames. We're looking at the daily. We're going to go on down into the 4-hour. What we see here on the 4-hour is important, okay? I think this is quite important because what we had right here is we had a nice push to the upside. A nice push to the upside here, broke into new all-time highs. We briefly paused around this area right here, and I see this as probable support if we do get a move to the downside. Great question. Keep the question coming. How do you see XLM? I'm going to take a look at that one shortly, right after covering Bitcoin right here. So what I'm thinking is, even though this is a trend, a counter trend trade, I do think that there is a possibility of coming down and testing that 120 to 119 area. Let's put in 120,000 here as the closest support. For those of you who are not familiar with the Fibonacci retracement tool, it is a beautiful trading tool you can use to look at support and resistance level. I'm going to be using that low and local high to find specifically two areas of interest that I like with the Fibonacci tool, and that is the 0.618 and the 50% fib right there. If we add that one here, you will see that the 50% fib comes in right on that 120K level right here. That's why I like that level for confluence. We're adding the 20 and 50 EMA right here as well. Let's go down to the 1 hour. We do see that the 1 hour is about to hit the 20 EMA as well, but eventually maybe we'll see a break to downside here. I'm going to switch over to the PrimeXBT platform again to see if we have anything happening on there. Pull that up. Here we go. That's the one. Let's make that screen a little bit bigger. Beautiful. Perfect. That's the current trade that I'm in right now. Going to be adding a position right here. Market order sell, got that one. Placing the position right there. And now, as you can see, when I have the hedging mode on, if I press that little down arrow right there, I mean, I love this platform because if you press that little down arrow right there, you will see the two positions I have on. So what I like about the hedging mode is that it takes all the different orders, then it puts them neatly within this one right here. So you can use that little arrow, and then it drops down all the different orders or all the different positions that you have on Bitcoin. So you can monitor each different orders. Now, what I'm thinking is I want this to come down to this level. So I'm going to lower that TP right here. We're going to set that one perfectly, and we're going to increase that stop loss to the same stop loss. So now we have two positions on Bitcoin with the same TP and the same stop loss. Let's see. Got a great question right here. For a healthy long-term trend, how far do you think it will have to go? I mean, what support could we expect? Very, very good question. Now, of course, I don't know I don't know how far price is going to go up or down. I mean, nothing that we say here is financial advice, obviously. This is strictly for informational and educational purposes only. So make sure that you make your own research and don't follow whatever I say or do blindly. So where would be the logical support if we get a throwback or a not a throwback? So when you have a move to the upside and then down, that would be called throwback. And then if you have a move to the downside and you look for a move back up, that would be a pullback. Imagine, you know what? Like one thing I learned when you were saying pullback and throwbacks is imagine that you're dropping something and then you're gonna like pull it back. You're pulling it back, and then when you're throwing something, imagine you're throwing something upwards, and then that would be a throwback. Not sure if that makes sense. So on the daily, I mean, if you're looking at the daily for support levels, there's a very simple concept you can use, and that would be that previous resistance a lot of times turns into support. You can look at this yourself. Just go back and look at previous price action, and you can say when you have a breakout, if price comes back and it is going to test that breakout level, a lot of times you will see that level act as support. So previous resistance turns into support. That's the idea of the break and retest concept. Very simple. So what I would be looking for here on a daily perspective is, see if we can add the rectangle tool. It's going to be that one right here. You can add it to the favorite tool as well. As you can see, I'm going to press that little star and it gets added to that favorite tool right here. I would then look at this as the general area of interest. So if we get a deep pullback or a throwback, let's just call it a retrace. If we get a deep retrace on a daily, I would of course be looking at the previous all-time highs around 12,000. Okay. Now there is of course the idea with Bitcoin. Bitcoin a lot of times like to overextend either to the upside or the downside. It really likes to surprise us, right? A lot of times you'll see Bitcoin breaking out and continuing at times when nobody thought that it was going to break out. And when someone is looking at a specific level of support, a lot of times it will go deeper. So for Bitcoin, if we get an even deeper retracement, what I would be looking at is this as the support, where I eventually would be looking at the current move being potentially even invalidated, right? But right now on the daily, I'm looking at the 112 area as probable support if we get a deeper retrace. Now, there's also a couple of levels on the, if you look at the 1 hour, there's a couple of good levels right here. So I would say that we have two areas of interest for potential support, which would be, the first one would be around here. You can see how market came up and started consolidating within this area, broke out, and then retested that level as support. If price comes down here, I think that is there's of course a possibility of that level being used as support as well. And the idea here with this short is, go into the 1 minute and I can show you. We have a good move to the upside right here. This is like a big breakout move right here. And then we start consolidating, moving slowly to the downside. We have a level of interest right here. And then price tested that general area once as support. Twice, a strong reaction on that retest, and then we broke the level to the downside. And now I'm viewing this as a possible area where there's an untested breakout area right here. You see that you had a strong breakout to the upside right here, and that level remains untested. And a lot of times I'll be looking at those untested breakout areas as levels of potential support, almost like it's acting as a magnet to pull price into that level. If there's any other charts that you want me to look at here today, let me know. But I think for Bitcoin, this breakout right here has really activated a massive move for Bitcoin. The fact that we had this breakout in the overall super, super bullish trend right here, you can see that we can even go out to the weekly, right? And on the weekly, you see higher highs and higher lows. And we then consolidated up here. And a lot of people were thinking maybe this is a double top on the higher time frames. Maybe we have one top here, because you can see here that you had one top here, and then you had almost like a double top here, and a longer consolidation phase here on the weekly, and then eventually you had that breakout. Same thing happening here, but this one, the consolidation was much wasn't really reprinted over such a long time. But what we're seeing here is basically just higher highs and higher lows on the weekly. The trend is extremely bullish here for Bitcoin. So even if we do get a retrace down to, let's see, where is that tool? I'm always using the this one right here. Okay, so we got, even if we, from the high, even if we get, a 10% or even a 15% move to the downside, I would say that this market is still extremely, extremely bullish. And the fact that we did close, multiple daily candles, and I believe even a weekly, right? Yeah, I mean, we closed that weekly candle in that all-time high area. It's extremely, extremely bullish. The trend right now is to the upside, and I think the wisest thing to do, at least for me, I mean, you got to do your own research, but for me, the wisest thing to do is to follow that trend to the upside. But as you can see, we're taking a counter trend trade here to the downside, as I'm seeing first sign of potential exhaustion here on the move to the upside, and I'm targeting the untested support below. Let's add some exponential moving average to the chart. I think that's super, super important. At least for me, at least for the way I'm trading. I want to be using the 20 and the 50 EMAs. We got the 20 right here, and then we're changing that to the 50. I like to have them different colors as well. The 20, let's have that as white. And then the 50 we can keep. We're also now seeing that the momentum is shifting to the downside when looking at the EMAs as well. You can see that the 20 crosses below the 50, and you now have the 20 and the 50 in a downtrend with the 20 EMA below the 50, telling us that the average price is telling us that there's a decrease in trend and momentum to the upside. Let me know in the comments, guys. I'm gonna do a poll for you guys. Pretty sure I know what the results are gonna be here. I want you all to go in the comment section and vote for if you're bullish or bearish on Bitcoin right now. And I'm pretty sure what the results are gonna be, but go in there and we'll have a look. Okay, so I'm now going to, I'm now going to limit the loss on this trade. I'm going to move stop loss down here on both of these positions. Because if price continues higher from here, I'm looking at this as being used as support. We have one bullish candle at that level, and I want this 5-minute candle to break down. I do not want to see this 5-minute candle closing as a bullish candle or any type of price action going actually above the current 5-minute candle. I want this push to continue to the downside with momentum. The 5-minute candle is probably going to be closing in about 30 seconds, about 20 seconds. Let's see where that closes. And if it's going to close below that wick, we're still in the trade. If it trades higher, we're going to get out of this trade right here. We're going down to the 1 minute. And it looks like the move is starting to break down here on the 1 minute. Looking good. Let's wait for the 1 minute candle. It's supposed to be closing right now. If we get another push to the upside or to the downside, Let's continue to move the stop losses down with more confirmation. Let's open another short position, and that's going to be our last short position. Let's move the stop loss up here on that one as well. And we're going to be moving the TP down to that one as well. So you see what I'm doing here? I'm entering a position where I see a potential setup forming and potential momentum coming into the market. And the more confirmation that I see on that trade and that setup, the more I'm going to be adding to that position right here. And then as you can see right here, the fact that I'm in the hedging mode here enables me to very easily take partial profits right here, or even scale out of the position by placing multiple TPs on, because all of these position sizes, they're the same and they're part of one big position. As you can see right here, if I just press that up arrow, you're going to see that all of these three positions is now measured as one right here. All right, so if we get further pushed to the upside here on the 1 minute, we might consider closing this trade, because as I showed you, if we go back and look at the 1 hour, we are hitting the 1 hour 20 EMA. And if you look at the lower time frames, the 15-minute, there is some type of level right here. If we add a rectangle tool right there, you are hitting a type of support. So let's see if this gets invalidated if we move across this level. So now what we can do is we can limit the loss of this trade by putting all the stop losses on here. And then if we break down further, we want to start taking profit on this position. What do you guys think? Are we going higher from here? Is this a local low? Because you know, if this is the local low for Bitcoin, maybe we'll start that. I mean, if this is the local low for Bitcoin, that would mean that we're front running this 120k support level, and we might actually continue that run higher up into the 125k region. So I'm going to move this window to the right. Actually, no, we're going to be monitoring this one. Okay, let me move this window to the right here, and we will be looking at the a trading view for more of a high time frame view. I'll be sharing some interesting insights on the long term for Bitcoin. Okay, so this is the Bitcoin logarithmic regression indicator and chart right here, and this is the long term. You can see, and you can see that after each halving, Bitcoin tends to start a parabolic run. Now, the parabolic run is becoming shorter and shorter, but the rate of decline of the parabolic runs is actually slowing down, which might indicate that we are looking at an asset that is slowly but surely maturing over time. But I still think there is substantial upside potential here. because we haven't even exited the lower band of this regression indicator, which you can see whenever that happens, that's when the true, the true bull market and the true parabolic run happens. Now, of course, this time it might actually be different because this time we have much bigger institutional adoption and the mainstream adoption on Bitcoin than we had last time. So we might be seeing a slightly different behavior here. But I do believe that the window of opportunity is something that I've measured from looking at how long does it take from the halving to the bull market top for Bitcoin. And we've seen that it takes, the earliest it has taken is around the April this year, which obviously we are well after that one. And then the latest top to halving is in all the way in October 2026. So statistically looking at the average top from halving to top, we have quite a big window of opportunity right here. And looking at the momentum and time it takes for Bitcoin to put in a top from putting in a high time frame bottom, I think it would make sense to look at a possible move towards 200 to, like, I can't believe I'm saying this, but from between 200K to 250K is what I'm looking at for a long-term target if Bitcoin enters that new parabolic run. But I remember also, talking about how Bitcoin could be running to 100K when we were trading back down here around 25K, and it happened. It happened. And back then, I remember saying, thinking that whenever you say 100K target for Bitcoin, that sounds crazy. But now we're at 100 and over 120K, talking about 200K for Bitcoin. So it might not actually be that crazy, right? Another thing I wanted to show you is the MVRVC score here at the bottom for Bitcoin, where if we take into consideration the possible alpha decay that we're seeing right here with the declining tops, this indicator is very simple. Whenever Bitcoin enters the zero area or trades below zero, that's traditionally a buy signal on the high time frame. So you can see that it aligns perfectly with the high time frame bottoms here for Bitcoin as well. And whenever the MVRVC score is putting in the top, it is believed that it should be above 6 or 7 or so is when you enter that red zone. And you can see that the tops are becoming lower and lower, which I believe is because of alpha decay. And if you draw a trend line here, we could say that we have a possible high, I believe, of around 5. And looking at the MVRVC score, we do have quite a long way to the upside before we put in a high time frame macro top, I believe. And the same thing goes for price action, because all the major tops for Bitcoin have been when we're hitting the upper band of the logarithmic regression indicator, which is all the way up here around that 200 to 250 level. Okay, so looking at the short on Bitcoin, I just got stopped out on that one. Now the question is, am I willing to go long based on this current price action that we're seeing right now, or am I waiting for more confirmation? Let's switch over to, yes, Louis, that is super, super bullish, and I 100% agree with you there. Okay, let's go over to the TradingView platform. Can open that one up. Okay, so the short idea was invalidated here, which makes, okay, 100% is bullish. Okay, so just ended the poll and 100% voted for Bitcoin being bullish. Now, if you're trading with the trend, if all you do is trading with the trend, then you would probably have bought the area where I sold. Now the question is, what I'm looking at here is this move right here, and the fact that we are potentially hitting a resistance zone right here. If we can get above that resistance zone, then I'm happy to open up a long. If we add the fibs right here, you will see that you have a 50% fib right here. We want to get above that 50% fib. A rejection here, and we might go lower. So a reclaim of that 50% fib, and I think it's much better to look for long opportunities than short opportunities. So let's see if we can get that. We're going to go down to the 1 minute. I also got my eyes on the level below here. If we put a fib on from that low to this high, I'm going to go into settings and I'm going to activate the 0.618 as well, and the 0.786 and the which one is it? Is the 0.7702, I believe it's supposed to be. Yeah, below the, between the 0.618 and 0.786. Let's make it so that we have, no, never mind. Okay, so this is definitely an area of interest if we continue to move lower. That's the area between the 0.786 and the 0.618 level that I like to call the reload zone, the long reload zone. So that's a good level, which means that if price comes down and forms a bottom here, then I am going to open a long position down there as well. And if we break to the upside here, I will initiate a long position there as well. All right, let's see what we get. Let me know, guys, if there's anything else you want me to look at here today. Let me know. Just drop your questions and anything you'd like me to watch in the comment section, and I will gladly help you out here. Because we do get a rejection here. Let's try a short. Okay, let's do one click, so I don't have to confirm it every time. Probably get another one right here. Man, the spreads are really good here. Okay, we got a gap down to the downside here in 1 minute. Seems like there's heavy volatility coming into the downside here. Let's see if we can hit those TP and perhaps start looking at switching long. Okay, let's just close those, and we'll be entering a long position here. Okay, we're closing those. We got a long position right here. You see how I entered that long position before closing the close position? That's only possible on the hedging mode. Okay, we're entering in another. Let's put the stop loss down here. Okay, we're doubling that one. Okay, we're entering a 0.1 position. We're buying that one. Putting TP. Where do we want that TP? Probably up around those highs. All right. Okay, so we did catch a little small short on that rejection. We're now going long here. We got the stop loss all the way down here. We're now expecting this general area to be acting as support, and if we do see signs of this level being acting as support, then we will, of course, add to the position. Otherwise, we will just let it continue to the downside and potentially seeing our stop loss hit. All right, what are you guys thinking? Let me know in the comments. Do we have another stop loss hitting here? Should I have held my original short? What do you guys think? Are we now I'm not asking about the long-term view on Bitcoin here, like the high time frame structure. I'm thinking about the, you know, the next hour. Do you think Bitcoin will be trading higher or lower in the next hour? Let me know in the comment section, guys. It all depends on this level. It all depends on if we are looking at a low time frame support area or if we're going to get that pullback down to like 112. Not 112, 120. I guess it's more like 119.5. I think it's more like 119.5 would be the better number, which would be around here. Let's make that like a wide horizontal as well. Okay, we're entering the area of interest right here. Now all we need to see is just a bullish reaction within the zone. And if I do get that bullish reaction, I will be adding to this position. Because we have the first initial bullish reaction, let's wait for at least a 1 minute bullish candle. Like that this current structure is higher than the previous one, so we do have, in a sense, a higher low right here. The 1 minute is going to close in about 30 seconds. Let's see if this 1 minute candle is closing as a bullish candle without any strong wicks to the upside. So right now what we're seeing is a big wick to the upside right here. And I want to see that being closed as a bullish candle without any bigger wicks. If it closes like this, that's okay because that's not really a massive wick. I don't want the wick to be more than 50% of the price range, which it is right now. Now it's about 50. Okay, so yeah, gotta wait for the next candle. Not really the type of confirmation I'm looking for. So we got another 1 minute candle. Let's see. Let's wait and see what we get right here. Let me know, guys. Are you guys trading this? Are you trading Bitcoin in the lower time frames, or are you more investing in Bitcoin and crypto? Let me know what you think, or let me know what you do. What type of trader are you? Are you a scalper, or a swing trader, or a position trader? Let me know. Okay, we're not getting the confirmation. Probably gonna go lower. Let's see where if we're gonna stop within the support zone. Okay, so if we break this level to the downside, now we can zoom out and we can look at the 119,500 level. And the initial short idea that I had was based on this current support that we're looking at, that level breaking to the downside. So if we do get a break to the downside, it would make sense to flip short here. But we'll see. Sometimes the best trade is no trade. Okay, so now we're breaking down. Just need to see confirmation of this push. We're getting that wick in. Most likely stop losses got taken out here, which of course, if buyers have to sell their position, that means you know, someone has to be buying that stop loss. Let's see if that's just that's the case here, or if we get continuation to the downside. Okay, we do get some type of continuation to the upside, or to the downside, I mean. So let's see if we can make anything of this. Okay, so we're now breaking below that level, that support that we looked at previously. You can see right here, we have a support right here, and we're now targeting the level below. I think the best course of action would just be to TP right here, where we have that initial breakout level. Right, so the initial reaction is bullish. Let's see if we can get any. Oh man, the market is not doing what I want it to be doing. At least I'm following, you know, at least we're following the price action. But you never know. You never know. Market can move, prices can move in wherever it wants to be moving. We're currently in a short, looking to take this down to the 120,000 support area. I'm going to remove that one, and now we can see we have an initial test of a resistance level right here. Basically, it's that swing low right here. We're breaking below that swing low, and now testing it from the downside. If this is a real breakdown move, we shouldn't be reclaiming that level, which is the area around 120,750. All right, looking good so far. Okay, not looking good right now. Let's see what we can get. Hopefully we'll get a rejection around this level. We had someone asking about let's see, XLM. Is that Stellar? I can't remember. Take a look. I would say that on the lower time frames, I like the retest of this level right here. I'm gonna do a poll, guys. I want you to answer that poll. I want to know: are you trading? What are you trading mostly? Are you trading Bitcoin, Ethereum, or other altcoins? So let me know. Let me know in the poll in the comment section. Go to the comment section and answer that poll. What are you trading? Bitcoin, Ethereum, or other altcoins. Okay, so looking at XLM right here, I think this looks like a good support. Looks like almost a break and retest. But yeah. Okay, Louis, let's take a look at gold. With that, I gotta, because I'm on the Crypto Futures platform right here, and I'm gonna keep that open. So I'm gonna keep that open in my on my right screen here, and then I will open TradingView and I will check gold for you. I've been trading gold quite a lot today, actually, so I can kind of walk you through some of the ideas that I've had on gold. I've looked at. I actually traded this downtrend quite actively today, but let's remove some levels here and we can get gold. Also, remember to go into the poll, answer that one. We got 60% saying Bitcoin. Very quickly go over to Bitcoin. Checking the position. The short is looking fairly good. Okay, so over to gold. Take a look at gold. Okay, so obviously, looking at gold, I'm super bullish on gold on the high time frames. It reminds me of Bitcoin. Used higher highs and higher lows on a weekly. We'll look at the daily. I would actually say that if we got at least higher lows. Now, I would view on gold, each of these lows are swing points. But these are the swing points for gold that I'm looking at for potential invalidations of the uptrend. It's also worth noting that today's price action broke above a recent swing low as well. A swing high, a lower high. So that's quite bullish, right? Depending on how the daily candle is going to close. So I think this could turn out to be quite the bullish scenario if gold can reclaim this level right here, because what we see here is a potential double top formation, like a double M or an M formation, a double top. And if if gold can reclaim that level, which is around 3,356, 55, I think we are going to see more upside throughout the week. Other than that, looking at the daily, really got two levels of interest. The first one as support is the 3,300 and let's just say 3,300. 3,300 is like the closest high time frame support that I see. It's also where we have the daily 50 MA, so I quite like that. Below, we have the equal lows right here, and which I also view this as the latest higher swing low. That's the low at around 3,250. So as long as that level holds, I am quite bullish on gold, and I would be looking for long trades. So if the idea with the US building a large Bitcoin reserve while simultaneously imposing tariffs, if the US moves forward with a strategic Bitcoin reserve, it's going to be massive. For Bitcoin, it's going to be absolutely massive. And for the tariffs, yes, I do believe the tariffs are going to be inflationary, or raise inflation in the US, which eventually might act as a risk on catalyst. But I don't think that's going to happen until later, after at least the summer or at the end of this year. So what we have to do is, at least from a price action perspective, looking at the trends, everything is still very much bullish. And if the tariffs are going to be so catastrophic for risk assets, then think about it. Why did Bitcoin break out recently? Why do we have the S&P 400 breaking out into new all-time highs? We got the indices, the stock indices. We got Bitcoin continuing to push higher. Obviously, the market is not too afraid of the tariffs at this point. And the idea of Bitcoin building a Bitcoin the idea of the US building a Bitcoin reserve is something completely different. Because if that happens, then Bitcoin is going to rally no matter what the tariffs does. Because if that truly happens, it's going to be revolutionary for Bitcoin, and more countries might start adopting Bitcoin as a strategic reserve, and that's going to push prices higher, I believe, in most scenarios. And that might actually cause a super cycle, which means that the trend that I've looked at here, we might just take this whole analysis and just throw it out the window, and instead we would be looking at something like this, where we are talking about like prices on this scale, where we're talking about like a super cycle, where this leaves us behind, and this we look at this as one move to the upside, right? Like we're going to talk about much higher prices. But if the US follows the trajectory that it has done for the last time, and looking at Trump, he talks a lot about the strategic Bitcoin reserve, but is he implementing anything? Not really. Then I think we're going to follow this trajectory, and even with that, we have 200 to 250k. It's quite amazing. Yes, I do think that it would, Diego. Okay, so let's quickly go back to PrimeXBT platform, because we got something interesting happening on our grade. So the short is, I believe, now confirmed. We had that bearish rejection of that level. I'll be entering another position on this one. And then I'll be placing my stop loss. It's a tight stop loss right above here, and I'll be moving everything down here as well. Good question. How much longer do you think this bullish cycle is? Okay, so if we look at Bitcoin, again, I'm going to switch back to TradingView because that's where I have all the text. Okay, so if we look at this, each parabolic rally in Bitcoin has basically shortened in duration from around 350 days right here in 2023 to around 210 days here in 2017 to roughly 150 to 200 in the bull market of 2021. And like I said, the rate of decline is slowing, but so the rate of decline is slowing, which I think could be because we have an asset that is potentially maturing, right? And this also aligns with the structure that is shown by the logarithmic regression bands. And this is, of course, marked with the white support and the blue upper resistance. And you see that they're both sloping in a way that price will eventually have a more of a ranging structure. And if this current pattern continues, I'm looking at the 2025 parabolic run lasting between 100 to 150 days. Okay, but the parabolic run, I believe, has not started yet. I believe it starts when we get above this upper line, this upper white line right here. And let's just put 150 days on here. That would be around this level right here. So let's say that Bitcoin continues this move to the upside, breaks above 125 or 130, maybe even 140, that's where I believe that the big parabolic run might eventually start. You could also say that if this is the start of the parabolic run, I would be looking at the after somewhere. But this is like the timing. These things are impossible. It's absolutely impossible to time these things. It's I like working with timing moves and timing markets and things like that, but it's impossible to know. It's absolutely impossible to know. What I think is much easier and makes more sense is to follow whatever is happening. Look at the structure of the market, ask yourself, are we bullish or are we bearish? And then just follow whatever is happening and put out levels on the chart where you think you might have invalidation. But from a timing perspective, I do believe that there could be a parabolic run starting in the next few weeks or a month or two that would last perhaps 150 days. So how much can Bitcoin move in 150 days? Well, the simple answer is quite a lot. If you draw a line from that one, when it broke out here, to this high, it moved in 2020. It moved, how much is that? That's 280% in 150 days, okay? That would mean if we move from current prices, okay, so just from current prices in the next 150 days, from this level right here, up to the profit taking, we're only talking about an 80% move to the upside, okay? So compared to what happened in 2020 over the span of 150 days, it's only 80%. If we're going to follow the same type of move that we had in 2020, we're looking at a parabolic run of 150 days, and that was a 300% move. So that would land us about like 300 and 350. So I think people are underestimating the power of Bitcoin once it really starts that parabolic run. And I don't believe that has happened yet in the current bull market that we are in. I think we have more room to go. Look at what the market looked like in previous bull run. We got this one right here, then we got this one right here, and then we got this. So I feel like it haven't really started yet. I feel like the bigger, stronger impulse move to the upside, what we call the parabolic run, hasn't even started yet. Okay, guys, I'm going to start wrapping things up here. Before we leave, I would like to ask you, if you do have any questions, please let me know in the comment section. I will start closing this position because I will most likely not be trading anymore, at least not actively today. So I'll be closing this position for a small loss. Now, what you can do is I like that you have one button for closing all trades. If you want to get out of all trades immediately, you press that one, close all. Otherwise, you can close this full position for Bitcoin all at once, or you can close each of these positions like this. If I press close all, it's going to close them all. How much money did I make on that one? Not a lot. $28. Well, that's good. $28 an hour. Get me a very expensive coffee after this one, perhaps. Who am I kidding? It's too late to drink coffee. I'm never going to be able to sleep if I do. Okay, guys. I'd like to thank you all for joining today. And like I said, any questions you might have, feel free to drop them in the comments. If you're watching the replay, maybe you're not watching live, maybe you're watching the replay. If you're watching the replay, remember that we are reading the comment section, so leave a comment and we will gladly help you out. All right, guys, thanks for watching today's live stream. We will try to do these as often as possible now with the market being this volatile and that we finally have this insane volatility back in the crypto market. And like I said, I think this is just the beginning of something huge. All right, Take care, guys, and I will see you all in the next one. Take care.